Hello everybody and welcome back to Vice on a Friday night. Today I'm just going to be going over another tier list. This one's going to be the Japanese car tier maker, and yeah, we're just going to get right into it. So please leave a like, subscribe, and let me know if y'all enjoy this type of thing. So number one, I think these images are so freaking small. I can barely even see it. I think it's a Type R, some sort of SI. If it's a Honda, I'm automatically going to put it in an S, essentially. That's what this whole list is essentially going to be. Just letting every single person here know. Okay, so Type R automatically going to be in S tier, of course. I mean, let's be honest, it's a Type R slash SI. Lancer Evo, I'm going to slap it right into... Can't lie, man. I'm put the Lancer Evo in X. I'm a big Lancer Evo guy. I'm a Lancer fan in general. Even just the base Lancer sedan, I think actually looks freaking sick. I think it's just a very old school boxy design, and I like that sort of thing with cars. Really big fan of this. Lancer Evo, just I wish you could buy them because they're so freaking expensive, and whenever people sell them, they're like 60 grand, which it's not worth that, but at that point I'm just gonna buy a Type R. It's a WRX. I don't know what kind of WRX this is, but I'm gonna be honest, I'm not a WRX guy very much. I do think they sound pretty good some generations. At least the last gen of WRX sounded pretty dang good. I think Boxer 4s just are the best sounding four cylinders, pretty point blank period. I think a lot of four cylinders tend to sound raspy, especially inline fours. I like a lot of Honda inline fours, but the Boxer 4 just sounds the best. Generally, any WRX I'm going to put in the B. I'm just not a Subaru head at all. Let's see here. I wish I could see these small images. I'll put that one in S. A. I don't really have much to say about these. Okay. Here we are. The SC. I don't know if this is a 430, 400, anything. Doesn't really matter. The SC line of Lexus is some of the most honestly iconic cars of all time. I mean, really, truthfully, and honestly, one of the coolest, most iconic things of all time. The dual headlights, I just really love. They're just gorgeous. They sound amazing. Those Lexus 4.0s, those Toyota 4.0s. Of course, they sound amazing. They're Lexus V8s, they're Toyota V8s. Of course, they're going to sound great. X tier for sure. I want to buy one of these one day, stance it out, just make it look freaking awesome. I would love to get one of these one day. What is that? Is that an RX-7? I'll put it in X tier. What does there say about the RX-7 that hasn't already been said? It's a freaking classic, dude. I mean, it doesn't get more iconic than the RX-7. Sure, they're freaking nightmares to own, but I love it. And speaking of the RX-7, there's a really cringe Need for Speed fan base. Need for Speed. There's a really cringe Fast and Furious fan base around the RX-7, which is really cringe. Like, if I go onto YouTube and I see one more short about the actor for Hans signing a WRX, I'm gonna shoot my brains out because they are so freaking cringe. I'm not a fan of that part of the fandom for RX-7. Besides for that, they're pretty cool. The BRZ slash... I don't know if there's a GR86 on here. It's just gonna go in the same spot. I can't lie. I think the GR86 slash BRZ is a really cool car. I think they're overpriced, definitely. I think they're crazy expensive for what they are. But I will say I do think that they are I think they sound pretty good. They can sound good at least. Whatever, it's not some 16-year-old that slapped on some sort of straight pipe exhaust system on these things. They actually sound pretty good. And they handle quite well. Like the GR86 especially handles very, very well. Yeah. I don't know what the hell this is. I'm just going to put an A. I don't know what that is. I'm exposing myself. A Honda S2000, I'm going to put in B. I think these are really overrated. I don't really understand. I understand the appeal behind it. You know, it's a traditional classic. It's a manual coupe, fast, naturally aspirated. It's cool and all. They look cool. The stance, they look neat. I don't understand why you would spend $60,000 on an S2000. They are so expensive today in this car economy. Don't understand why anyone would ever spend the money on an S2000. If this was like a $30,000 car, I would understand it. But at that point, just buy a Type R. Let's see. I can't tell if this is an FRS. I'm going to put it right in A too. The FRS is cool. The FRS was one of the first cars that I ever thought was cool as a kid. I remember, I think it was in Drive Club that you could get a Scion FRS. If anybody remembers Drive Club, comment. But you could get a Scion FRS in Drive Club, I think, as one of the first cars, and it was awesome. I remember thinking it was just the coolest car ever. And I would see them on the road all the time whenever I was in, you know, my mom's van. This was the first car that really caught my attention as a kid, and I will always remember it for that. The modern NSX, I'm going to put in A tier as well. I don't think it's an screw it. I'm going S tier for the modern NSX now that I think about it, because this is one of the most underrated, underappreciated cars. It's already gone at this point. They've stopped making these, and I feel like people just don't talk about them. I just know that in like 2 to 3 years, there's going to be like a movement in the car community. People saying, oh, the NSX, it was so underrated. Nobody appreciated it. Which is honestly, it's true. I mean, the people are going to act like they're the greatest things ever in 2 to 3 years once people start to realize that this is a V6 Honda with like 500 plus horsepower. It is a supercar. I don't care what anybody says. It's one of the most gorgeously designed cars, themed cars. The liveries, the colors on this thing is gorgeous, and I mean, it sounds maniacal. Honda V6s are some of the best V6s on earth, and it's just a great car. It's a hybrid. The funny thing is, though, about the NSX is that it actually has the base Honda infotainment system that my Civic has, which is pretty hysterical. But hey, I drive an NSX. The GR Supra, I'm gonna put in X. I think the GR Supra, the Mark V, I guess I should say, is going to be remembered as one of the best sports cars of all time, not just regionally, nationality-wise. Yes, it does have the B58 in it. Yes, it essentially is a BMW. It literally has a BMW shifter, I think. But the GR86 is going to be remembered as one of the classic Japanese sports cars of the 21st century. Very fast, gorgeous, sounds great. Yeah, what is there to say about the GR Supra that hasn't been said? I think this is a Datsun 240Z. I'm gonna slap this in X tier. One of the most iconic Japanese cars of all time. What I think the Ferrari, I've said this in one of my videos before, but what I think the Ferrari GTO was to Ferrari and to the car world for Italian cars at that point in time, the 240Z was for the rest of the world, especially in America, because nobody really took Japanese sports cars seriously until the Datsun 240Z, when this car was starting to really beat out a lot of European and Italian cars, especially Italy is European, German and English Italian cars, when this car was performing right next to them. And it's one of the most gorgeous cars ever designed. The rear ends on these things are gnarly. Is this a Nissan Altima? You know what? I'm going to be honest. The Nissan Altima, I'm going to put in like A tier. Because guess what? Yes, we all know the Nissan Altima jokes. We all know the people that drive Nissan Altimas are nuts. My girlfriend included. We all know that it is a meme in the car community. Like, this vehicle is a meme. We all make fun of it. We all joke around. We all joke around about the Altima. But you know what? The fact that it stayed around as long as it has, and that it keeps getting made, no matter how terrible the transmissions are that they put in these things, they don't die. You will see Altimas driving up and down the road for the rest of your life. And you know what? I have driven an Altima before. They're kind of fun to drive, and it's really a weird feeling about them. They corner very tightly, and I don't know, they're just weird. I don't know if it's because Nissan 4-cylinders are just kind of peppy, but I don't have anything against Altimas. Is this another WRX B? I don't really care. Put an A. I don't really have much to say about these cars. B. Oof. I know what you guys are thinking. X tier automatically, the LFA. The LFA is one of the most important cars to come out in the 2010s. Yes, it's Lexus. I already hear the comments coming from a mile away. Yes, I am going to glaze Lexus for one more second. The LFA is, like we've said, the best sounding car in the world to me. You cannot change my mind. Yes, I think the Porsche 918 Spider, the Porsche 718 Spider sounds beautiful, but it's just not an LFA. And just the scream of an LFA you can't replicate it. I don't think any brand will ever replicate it. We all know the story. Yamaha tuned it. Yamaha. I'm not going to go much into the LFA. We've heard about it to death. There's a weird growing movement of people like Doug DeMiro, who say that the LFA was overrated. It's overpriced. And okay, you can say that. It's not as fast as its competitors. It's not as fast as its contemporaries. It's not styled the way that I like. It's not styled like a German sports car. It's not blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter. The LFA was created to prove what Lexus could do. We all know they lost money on every single model they produced. It was made for Lexus to show that they can create a supercar that will be iconic for the rest of time. And they did. And we all admit that. We all know it. And for some reason nowadays, a lot of people like to act like it's overrated, when I know you were on Instagram 2 years ago hyping it up. I don't know what... C? I don't know. Put an A. It's a Mazda Speed 3. I think this generation of Mazda is really ugly, but I will go ahead and put it in... I'm going to go ahead and put this in A. I'm going to put this bad daddy in A. Okay, I'm sorry. I was tweaking. The Mazda Speed 3 is really, really cool. I'm a big fan of the Mazda Speed 3. I think it's ugly as all get out, but it is a shockingly well-performing car. I know somebody who might buy one. He has been talking about this. They're really cool. I've looked at the market on these. man, they are just riced out. And by the way, people who say this car is slow are dumb as rocks, because just because it doesn't have like 500 horsepower, it's not a tuned BMW, it's a great car. It handles better than a BMW will. So Mazda Speed 3, A tier for sure. A tier. I'm not a big fan of GTRs, or at least early GTRs, but I'm gonna put in S tier. I just think that the fandom behind, I'm gonna go ahead and put this GTR in S too. I just think the fandom behind them is just weird. I think it's like that. It's the same thing with the RX-7. It's the people that talk about these cars and post the edits of these things from Fast and Furious. It's just cringe. Like, I don't like racing movies in general. I think movies with cars are just kind of lame. I'm coming off a hater in this video, but I'm just not a fan of old school GTRs. They're just not very interesting to me. I don't think they sound good. Sure, they look cool. They're very well styled. I just think they sound terrible, and I just don't think they're that interesting. They're not very intriguing to me. Whatever this little rust bucket is, D tier. The modern Miata, I'm gonna put in C tier. I think the modern Miata is god awful ugly, and I think it lost everything that the Miata was supposed to be. The Miata was supposed to be this kind of this tin can, this weightless thing, and sure, these things are still light. Don't get me wrong, but they were supposed to be like this junky tin can, you know, but now with Mazda going in its more modern luxury stance, automatically they would naturally have to, you know, make this thing a little nicer. I think it's ugly. I think it's one of the few Mazda designs that are hideous in the modern day. I think the rear is stupid. I think it's overall, it just looks dumb. It looks stupid. It looks like something like, I don't know, like a moron in middle school would make. I'm not a fan of these. I don't think they sound particularly good. I've never thought that Miatas have sounded good, and this one, the modern gen, is not any excuse. The FK2, I believe, the FK2 Type R. I love this car. I will sing the praises of the first Type R, or modern Type R. I don't think it came in the States. I'll put on the screen if I'm wrong, but I will always sing the praises of this car. It looks awesome. It is raw. It looks so 2011 to me, 2012. It just looks like that time period, and I love that. It's a very, very interesting visual concept, and I love it. It's everything manual, bucket seats, red, everything you love about a Type R, but I don't think it really ever caught on in the States. That was before the 10th gen Civic Type R. I cannot remember what these are called. I don't know if they're called Honda Insights or whatever. I think they're really cool looking. I'm going to put them in B. I mean, they're just a dinky little hybrid thing, but I think they look really cool. Like, if they came out with like a Type R version of this thing, that would be awesome. These little cube cars, I don't really care. Slapper in D. I think this is a Sylvia. X tier automatically. I don't know what gen that is. I think this is maybe a 34. I don't know, whatever. Big fan of Sylvia. I have a whole video on my channel about Nissan and how much I love Sylvia. If they brought back the Sylvia in the modern day, and they did call it Sylvia, you know, for the U.S. market, which they never did, but if they did, I think it would sell so well, because if they advertise it to the community that buys 350, 370Zs, not so much the 400Z, nobody buys it, but if they didn't overprice it, if they brought it back, made it still cool, people would flock to the Sylvia because they're just cool cars. They're sick. Sylvias are awesome. They are so well designed. I love them. I don't know what the hell this is. Looks dumb as hell. I'm gonna put it in F. D. We all know what this is. The R34. I'm gonna put it in X. It's. I mean, where else do you want me to put it? Everything I said about GTRs stands here. Where else do you want me to put it? It's probably the most iconic Japanese sports car of all time. Fast and Furious has a lot to do with that. Nobody in the U.S. really thought these were cool before Fast and Furious came out. So I will say, I mean, it is a very good-looking car. It's so boxy. It's flat. I just love it. I love the way it looks. Hate the way it sounds. I do like this car. I like it. I don't think it's as great as everyone makes it out to be. But it's a cool car. I like it. R34. R35 going right into the X. I have sung the praises on this channel about the R35 forever. And the R35 GTR is, in this day and age, the best deal universally. You can get a car with nearly 600, it might have 600 horsepower if I'm not mistaken, nearly 600 horsepower, blazingly fast car. It sounds amazing, handles like a track car, stock. Sure, the transmission is a little boring, but you can swap that out. 80 grand. Some cases 75 grand. You can get this. And this car, and I mean this, will beat any M3, any M4, and especially an M5. It just will. And it looks cooler, it sounds cooler. It is the best deal in the entire sports car industry. Go buy an R35 GTR before people catch on, because these things, and they just look awesome. I think they are so cool looking. A tier for sure. Is this a first gen Corolla or Civic? Either way, S tier. Look at what they've become. I mean, that's all you have to say. It's a pre-gen. S tier for sure. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Beautiful. I think that... Yeah, oh man, I need one. Sorry, I got distracted. 350Z, gonna put it in C. You're gonna be shocked where I put the 370Z. I think the 350Z is very ugly. It's incredibly outdated. It is visually very hideous. The 370Z right below it fixed a lot of the problems with the design. I think this is just too flat. It looks smooth. It's rounded. I just don't like the design. It sounds horrendous. I think 3.5 liter V6s across the board, even in Lexus's, I know you'll say that, don't sound very good. I think that 3.5 liter V6 area just doesn't sound good. And on most cars, it just doesn't sound good. And, you know, screw it, man. I think the people that buy these are stupid. And they're so ratty. But the 370Z, I am going to put an A, because I love the 370Z. I was pretty young when these started coming out. I'm a big fan of them. I think the 3.7 sounds a lot better than 3.5. It's styled very nice. I think it, again, like I said, fixes a lot of the visual eyesores of a 350Z. And overall, I just think they're cool, man. I think they look cool. They're just fun. They're neat. Big fan of these cars, man. 370Zs. Put that in A tier. Man, there's a lot of great Japanese cars. B. All right. The S. Sorry. LS 400 X tier. Sorry, it's an LS 400. What do you want me to do? The greatest car ever made. And my video coming out next week is going to be called "The Best Car Ever Made." I'm talking about sports cars, okay? The LC 400 is the best car ever made. And I will fight with people to the day I die. What Lexus was able to do with the LC 400 changed automotive making for the rest of history. Because from out of nowhere, you have a brand who is known for making commuter rinky-dink cars. Toyota was making the Corolla, right? When they come out onto the world stage, when they see what Mercedes and BMW, Audi, what these brands are doing, they bust out onto the world stage, and come out with a car that to this day is nicer than modern luxury cars. The LC400 was a best-selling car. Lexus is huge in America. To my European and even Canadian viewers, I don't think you understand how big Lexus is in America. Lexus is the luxury brand in America. And the LC400 made that happen. It is the most classically styled car. It is the best styled car in the world. It is the nicest interior ever made. It is the best riding car ever made. It is one of the best sounding V8s I have ever heard in my entire life. The 4.0 is majestic. Everything about the LC400 Excuse me, I may have called this car the LC on accident. My apologies. It is 1 a.m. My brain is fried. The LS400, like I said, everything. It changed the world for Lexus. It changed automaking for Toyota forever. And what I don't think people understand is that a lot of the cars we have, luxury cars nowadays, would not be around without this vehicle. The LS400 is my favorite car ever made, and I will stand on that molehill for the rest of my life. And the Toyota Crown. I say the same thing about the Toyota Crown. Same car. Same thing. Same exact thing. I essentially call them the same. Yeah, it's a LS400 to me. Oh. Easy X tier. I'm not even going to go into it. One of the best design cars of all time. I cannot tell what this is. Is this a... Is that a 400? Is that a Nissan Z? Either way, I'm gonna put it in an A. If that is like that's a horribly shot image. This is, ugh. I'm a big fan of the 400Z. I like it. I think it's a fine looking car. The rear looks awesome. Very impressive horsepower numbers, like 400 something, twin turbo V6. You know what we come to expect from modern Nissan sports cars. Sounds all right. Looks again, the styling's great. Very fast, very cool. Manual or automatic, doesn't matter. You choose. Overpriced as hell. That is what killed this car, sadly. Not a fan of these. Putting it in C. A tier. I'm gonna put the previous gen of the WRX. I don't know Subaru whatsoever. I'm just gonna call them previous gen. This is my favorite type of WRX by far. I think that this is an Impreza, excuse me. What I think this WRX does is brought everyone to it created, it's the best looking, most modern and acceptable looking car of the WRX line. It's not weird looking, it's not bizarrely shaped, there's no bug eyes. This WRX is a great looking car, and I think it sounds good, like I said. I think it sounds great. It performs very well. Twin turbo boxer 4, awesome. These sold very well. Last gen you could get an STI in, which is very sad. They should bring back the STI, because without that, I think the WRX will fail. Which is a very sad thing, because man, I don't know. There should just be an STI. I'm going S tier, A tier. I don't have many opinions on these. S tier for sure. S tier. There's a lot of S tiers on this. S tier. Good grief, Nissan went on a S tier binge. What is that? Is that a Genesis? It's not. That looks like a Genesis. D tier regardless. S tier. Any gen of SI is an S tier to me. Don't care what anybody says. B tier. Not a fan of WRX. Don't care what anybody says. Alright. Now we're getting into the cars that I have opinions on. A lot of Japanese cars I don't have many opinions on. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and put this up in X tier. I realize I totally called this. I confused this car with something else, but my point still stands. The LC 500 going smack dab in S. And no, it's not because it's a Lexus. It's because it's a great daily commuter. It's a good daily driver. Very luxurious. But it's also fun. You can also have fun with this car. A big, brawny V8. It's quick enough. It sounds amazing. Amazing, amazing, amazing. It's a 5.0 V8. Of course, it's basically a Japanese Mustang. It looks pretty good too. I will sway on how this car looks. I think it's, I'll sway on what it looks like. Sometimes it looks great, sometimes it doesn't. I think it very much depends on the paint, by far. Ooh, sorry, shatter ears. Going B. Yes. I'm gonna pop this baby in an S for sure. As you can see, I don't have a lot of opinions on a lot of Japanese sports cars. A lot of them are kind of all the same. They all kind of look the same for a long time. A lot of what Nissan was doing at a certain point in time looked the same. That's one thing that I've noticed about Japanese cars as I've gotten older. They all look the same, kind of. So I am going to speed through a couple of these. Type R, the 10th gen X tier. The 10th gen Type R is iconic to me. I go back and forth on if it's the best looking Type R ever made. Maybe that's just because I own a 10th gen Civic and I'm very, very swayed towards them because I think they're one of the best Civics ever made. I do think the 11th gen Type R looks a little bit better just because I think that they are a little bit more toned down. I think the 10th gen is slightly too aggressive looking for not my taste. I love it. I think it's beautiful. It's just a little too aggressive sometimes. And whenever I think of Type R, I do honestly think of the 10th gen. I don't know if it's because I'm young. This came out when I started getting into cars really heavy. I don't know if that's what happened, but 10th gen holds a really close place in my heart. Any 10th gen Civic, especially the Type R. Put an A for the giggles. Ooh, A for sure. I can barely tell what half of these cars are. Good lord. Sorry, gentlemen. This is a ratchet video. Now, I am actually a fan of this WRX. I'm going to put in an S just because I think of the just from the Impreza vibe WRX, I think it's definitely the best looking. There's no stupid, overly intense design on it. There's no weird bug eyes. It just looks like a fast car. And sometimes that's all I ask for from Subaru because sometimes they make the modern WRX, which is one of the ugliest cars I've ever seen. But yeah, man, I like this Gen WRX. Cannot tell what this is. Terrible image. Gonna put an F. Is this the Suzuki Swift? I think I only know what... Is this the Suzuki Swift? I think I only know what this is because I play Gran Turismo. Man, D, I guess. It's cool. I don't know. There's nothing about it that's impressive to me. It's kind of slow. I'm judging everything off of Gran Turismo. It's alright, dude. I don't really have an opinion on them. Oh, S tier, absolutely. B. Supra. S tier. What is there to say? And then, in my opinion, the best Japanese sports car of all time for the last is going to be the NSX. And I think there is not much you could tell me to say that, I mean, of course there's 911s out there that could go as far as to say it's the best sports car. You could say the Countach, the F40, cars like that, the XJ220, stuff like that, and it's just nothing's gonna be styled as this is the best styled car of all time. It is so low. It's a race car, but for streets. Like, I don't think there will ever be a car that looks better than this. Like, I really honestly truly believe that. We all know the racing history. It beat Ferrari. It punched Italy in the nose that Japan can make a car that can beat their Italian supercars. The NSX punched above its weight heavy, and it is the greatest sports car ever made to me. Nothing will ever change that, and I will die on that hill. Nothing will ever change that the NSX is the greatest sports car of all time. And what's really funny to me is that there will be people that will, I'm sure, in this comment section say that from this list, the fact that I skim over a few, that I don't know anything about cars. You can say that. Go ahead. I would love for you to say that because it gets engagement on the video. Do it. This is a take that I am shocked isn't more popular. The NSX is the best sports car ever made, and I will die on that hill. Thank you guys so much for watching. This has been my Japanese car tier list. I will say a few of these I don't recognize. Like, this is a terrible image. I don't know what this is. I don't know what this is. The rest I do know what they are, but I don't know what this is either. Or this, I don't think. I don't know. Half these images are really bad, so I apologize for that. But yeah, this is my Japanese cars tier list. I'm sure there's going to be some really controversial stuff said on here. Go ahead, say it. I want you guys to comment, leave a like, subscribe. New video every single week. New tier list every Friday, and new video essay every Sunday. So subscribe, and I'll tune in with you guys this Sunday. Peace.